One thing you can do to find emails is using services. So there's a lot of services online that, given the company name, they will just list you all the email addresses. For example, I have this list here. We zoom in. So you can go on any of those sites. They are usually commercial services, and you can type any company name. For example, Microsoft. Press enter, and you'll see it's listing email addresses for Microsoft.com. You can get free searches on this site if you create an account. And there's many different services like that. So for example, we're just searching for Microsoft.com. And you can search for a specific person, which you can find on LinkedIn, for example. Let's just search that. And then after a moment, it will return the email address. And so there's a lot of different services that you can find email addresses online. Many of these services require to register. So I've just created a list, and okay, this seems not to be a relevant one. So let's say we are interested in just a company, right? Microsoft.com, find email addresses, and this one is actually collecting the email addresses from the web. And you'll see it already found some email addresses of people working at Microsoft. In fact, 92,000 using anymailfinder.com. And so you can use these services to collect email addresses from the web. Another technique that you can use to find email addresses is just testing. So for example, if you know that you want to contact someone at Microsoft.com, you can just go with a word list and try emailing test@Microsoft.com, support, John, James, and just going through a word list with @Microsoft.com and emailing all of them. And eventually you'll hit somebody that the email isn't an email sent failed, and eventually you'll contact somebody. Another technique you can use to find email addresses using mailing lists. So if you subscribe to a mailing list, usually they leak email addresses. And finally, another option to get email addresses is to export LinkedIn connections. So if you go to linkedin.com, you have an option to connect with people in the company and then export the data. And many of the people that use LinkedIn, they don't hide their email address. And of course, this works for other services as well. I mean, LinkedIn is quite popular for corporate use. So you can export your LinkedIn connections after connecting with the people of that company, and then gain email addresses. So there's different techniques to get email addresses of people. These are just some of them. Obviously, using one of those websites is the most easiest because you can easily dump the whole list of email addresses for different companies. But regardless, you can get email addresses which you can use to contact. For malicious use, what people also do is then, given the email addresses, they try to brute force their email addresses to get access within the company's emails. So that's a possibility as well. If you have their email addresses, that's a way into the company, right? And you can then try to different passwords to get into the mailboxes of people in the company.